Let me give you an idea of the changes. We've all seen this tracking sheet, and it pretty much tracks what we've talked about other than a couple things. If you look at 40.1.4 under the Regents budget, provide funding for 4 crop scientists specializing in horticulture, peanuts, soybeans, and peaches. This was an ad. These are at $4 and $150,000 a piece. This is an ad that Chairman England had a particular interest in, and the agricultural experiment stations had. That's 40.1.4 under ag experiment stations. Is that not? Is that correct? Is that the correct section? You got it, Representative Rice? Okay, I want to make sure, because sometimes these tracking sheets don't track with each other, so. Okay. Is yours highlighted as well? Highlighted areas are changed. All right, the next is under the Enterprise Innovation Institute. This is transferring funds for the statewide consortium on technology from the Department of Labor to the teaching program. The OPB and the Regents both requested this transaction. Just the funding just stays in the teaching program. It'll show up in the teaching program in the document, and this is really a transfer, not a change in the amount for the program. The next change is under the Medical College of Georgia, 40.11. Recommendation is this at one time this was a 2% reduction, and we're saying no reduction there. It's only 0. Next change is under the Regents Central Office. This is the 40.14.6. This is the funding increase for SREB dues. There'll be at least a $90,000 to $100,000 deficit for these dues each year, assuming they remain constant. We talked about this the other day. This allows us to continue to pay for the SREB dues. Under the teaching program, sure. It's the final year of the osteopaths because they'll now be taught at, what was the name of that? Philadelphia College of Osteopathy in Swanee, Georgia. Well, no, just the osteopathic, because you remember what an SREB does, it's for like optometric services and those types of things that aren't taught in the state of Georgia. We don't have an optometric school. We didn't have an osteopathic school. We now have the Philadelphia College that will be in Swanee, Georgia. So. Next is under the teaching. This is another one of those transfers that you'll see. The OPB and Regents request this for retain the Alternative Media Access Center in the teaching program and transfer $127,613 to the statewide consortium on technology from the Department of Labor. I think we all understand these Department of Labor transfers. I don't want to belabor those. Section 40.17.10. This was an addition of $25,000. The Southern Leadership Conference Skills CALS program at Georgia State University needed $25,000 to do this. This is a state government leadership program. The program provides nonpartisan forums for state officials. They don't have the capacity to go in and ask for these dollars from private funds like some of the others, and the Speaker's office thought this would be a reasonable expectation for something they're bringing to the state of Georgia. Next change is 40.21.5. And this is this is under the Georgia Public Broadcasting. We talked about this, if you'll remember the presentations that Ms. Ryan made with respect to the digital textbook initiative, that Georgia history textbook, for the $500,000 that we're going to not take out of their operating expenses. If you look at the overall cost-benefit analysis, and I'll be glad to share it when I had asked them to do this, local school systems spend $9.6 million on that social studies textbook. If you'll remember, it's a 2004 textbook. It's about to have to be reprinted, and all the systems are going to have to spend $9.6 million. For $500,000, they'll finish the effort. It'll be a digital textbook, and they're after about $200,000 annually to be able to continue to keep it. So for approximately $500,000 now, we can save the state $9.6 million. I'd say that's a pretty good bang for our buck, and they've done a great job. I'd love to see this program continue into a lot of our other text, both on the Regents in the Regent system and in the K-12. But I think this is a great pilot. I think we're going to see a lot of significant changes based on this. So that's that $500,000. The next is the 45.11. This is over. We're moving into student finance. This is the increase the funds under the Excel program, 45.1.1. If you'll remember, as it came out, this came out about a week ago, and I wasn't even aware of this. You know, we cut the dollars for books and fees in the regular Hope Scholarship and program. It seems that we didn't cut them in the Excel program. It's not quite as good a program as it is. It's not quite just to have a program for dual enrollment high school students that has books and fees when the regular program doesn't pay for books and fees. So we equalized that. It was about a 20% cut to the program. The next is 45.11.1. This is the North Georgia Military Scholarship grants. We talked about this in the Representative Amerson, another individual from North Georgia, brought this to my attention. We talked about this in the supplemental budget. This is for their scholarship and their grants to meet their actual enrollment needs. That's $91,000. Let's see. Scott, where's the language for the... I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just 1 minute. There's something that hasn't shown up on my sheet. Okay. What I was trying to find is, remember the discussion we had with respect to the $20 million on the 1% loan program? That can be accomplished. The student finance and the budget offices have done a really good job. That'll be accomplished in budget language. It'll be a statement that we would like to see them participate in that. Won't be any change in the dollar amount, so it's not in your tracking document. You'll see that at the big budget this afternoon. And then the final change is 45.12.1. That's the ROTC grant, the same as we talked about with North Georgia College. And business of the committee. There were no changes in the technical and adult system, and that is the recommendation. Any questions? Going to move in a second. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Pass it along to the full committee.